There are places on Earth so beautiful, they seem to belong to another world, where temples float amidst seas of clouds and roads cling to sheer cliffs. These are some of China's most bizarre and spectacular mountains. Gao Yiling, the Dragon's Back Path above the abyss. Amid the Yangtze Mountains of China, there is a narrow ridge so thin that it resembles the back of a gigantic dragon resting between heaven and earth. The red cliffs here were shaped by millions of years of erosion, creating one of the most extraordinary landscapes found within the Yangtze landform region. A pathway winds along the mountain crest between steep drop-offs on both sides, giving many visitors the sensation of walking along the edge of a blade. On one side stand towering dark red cliffs, while on the other lies a lake hundreds of feet below. Strong winds constantly sweep across the exposed mountaintops, making every step feel even more intense. Riding the warm air currents rising from the canyon, eagles and hawks are often seen circling high above the cliffs. Meanwhile, the forests at the foot of the mountains provide a home for numerous birds, squirrels, and other small animals adapted to this rugged terrain. For generations, local people have associated this landscape with the legend of a giant dragon sleeping among the mountains. When morning fog drifts across the ridgelines, the red rock formations appear and disappear within a sea of clouds, bringing that ancient legend vividly to life. Mian Mountain, the hanging temples among the cliffs. While many temples are built on mountain summits, those of Mian Mountain are carved deep into towering cliff faces. From a distance, the ancient structures appear to float in mid-air hundreds of feet above the ground. To reach them, visitors must cross narrow wooden plank paths attached directly to the mountainside. On one side stands a sheer rock wall. On the other is a vast drop disappearing into the depths below. Riding the warm air currents around the cliffs, eagles and hawks often circle above the ancient temples. In the forests below, monkeys, woodland birds, and other mountain-dwelling animals live among rocky ravines and seas of clouds. Even more unusual are the ancient bells suspended in mid-air by heavy iron chains. When mountain winds sweep through the cliffs, the sound of the bells echoes across the valleys, creating an atmosphere that feels both peaceful and mysterious. For centuries, this mountain has served as an important spiritual center where people came to pray amid the grandeur of nature. Today, with its cliffside temples drifting seas of clouds and scenery that feels as if it belongs in the world of black myth, Wudang Mian Mountain has become one of the most extraordinary mountains in China. Huangshan, where seas of clouds swallow the mountain peaks. Huangshan is one of China's most famous mountain ranges, with 72 granite peaks rising above a vast sea of clouds. What makes this place truly remarkable are its ancient pine trees, some hundreds to thousands of years old, clinging to steep cliff faces in defiance of gravity. As sunrise arrives, the mountain peaks gradually emerge from the blanket of white clouds below, like islands floating in the sky. To explore this landscape, visitors must climb more than 60,000 stone steps carved directly into the mountainsides over the course of many centuries. For hundreds of years, Chinese poets, painters, and calligraphers have traveled to Huangshan in search of inspiration from what is often considered the most beautiful scenery in the country. One of the most famous sections is the Carp Back Trail, a narrow path that follows a mountain ridge with steep drop-offs on both sides. Above the cliffs and surrounding forests, eagles and other birds of prey often soar on rising thermal currents. Beneath the pine-covered slopes, squirrels, forest birds, and numerous mountain animals thrive in an environment that remains largely untouched. Beyond its natural beauty, Huangshan is also associated with stories of love preserved through thousands of padlocks attached to railings along the mountain summits. When mist drifts across the rocky peaks and ancient pines emerge from the sea of clouds, the entire landscape resembles a giant traditional Chinese ink painting brought to life. Mount Hua, China's most dangerous mountain. Mount Hua has long been regarded as one of the most dangerous mountains in China. What makes it famous is not its height, but the pathways built directly onto its sheer cliff faces. Its most legendary section is the Plank Walk, a narrow wooden pathway only about 12 inches wide, attached to the side of a vertical mountainside. Visitors must wear safety harnesses and hold on to iron chains anchored directly into the rock. Every step is taken with solid stone on one side and a drop of thousands of feet on the other. For centuries, pilgrims have crossed this route on their way to the temples perched high on the mountain peaks. Along the dramatic cliffs, eagles and other birds of prey often soar on rising thermal currents from the valleys below. When seas of clouds roll in, the mountain peaks and pathways appear to float above the sky. Remarkably, even on one of the most intimidating peaks in China, small tea houses continue to serve pilgrims and travelers. Amid towering cliffs, iron chains and pathways suspended above the clouds, Mount Hua stands as a place that tests the courage of everyone who dares to visit. Wudang Mountain, the Taoist sanctuary above the clouds. Wudang Mountain is one of the most sacred mountains in China and is widely regarded as the birthplace of Taoism. Scattered across its mountainsides are ancient palaces, temples, and religious structures built among forests and seas of clouds. The mountain is also renowned worldwide as the home of many traditional Wudang martial arts. For centuries, Taoist masters have lived and practiced their disciplines among these isolated peaks. One of the most famous structures is the Golden Hall, located on the highest summit of Wudang Mountain. What makes it especially remarkable is that the temple has endured numerous direct lightning strikes while remaining standing for hundreds of years. Along the steep cliffs lies the Dragon Head Incense Platform, a narrow rock outcrop extending into a vast abyss. In the past, many pilgrims stood here to offer incense between heaven and earth. Riding the warm air currents around the mountains, eagles and hawks often circle above the rooftops of the ancient temples. Perched on a small rocky outcrop among the mountains of China stands a temple that appears to float high above the landscape. Perched on a small rocky outcrop among the mountains of China stands a temple that appears to float high above the landscape. What makes this place remarkable is not its size, but its location almost completely isolated from the world around it. Steep cliffs surround the temple, while deep valleys below remain hidden beneath layers of clouds and mist. Powerful winds sweep across the mountains nearly year-round, constantly rushing over the exposed slopes and rocky ridges. The region is also frequently affected by earthquakes and other harsh natural conditions. Yet despite these challenges, the temple has endured through generations in one of the most demanding environments imaginable. Along the surrounding cliffs, eagles and other birds of prey often ride the strong air currents as they soar through the sky. Along the surrounding cliffs, eagles and other birds of prey often ride the strong air currents as they soar through the sky. Meanwhile, hardy shrubs and alpine plants cling to narrow cracks in the rocks where very little life can survive. Amid the windstone and near total isolation, Taiping Mountain stands as a testament to the extraordinary resilience of both nature and humanity. Mingyue Mountain, the path through a sea of mist. On many mornings, the mountain peaks and pathways seem to disappear into drifting clouds of white fog. According to local legend, this mountain is connected to ancient stories of the moon and immortals who once lived among these peaks. For that reason, the mountain was given the name Mingyue, which means bright moon. The narrow trails clinging to the mountainside guide visitors along cliffs that rise hundreds of feet above the valleys below. With every step, it feels as though you are walking along the boundary between the clouds and the earth. riding the mountain air currents. Eagles and other birds of prey often circle high above the cliffs. Beneath the mist and ancient forests lies a rich ecosystem of alpine plants, forest birds, and numerous animals adapted to the cool mountain climate throughout the year. For centuries, people have come here to admire the scenery and seek moments of peace amid nature. Surrounded by seas of clouds, dramatic cliffs, and ancient legends, Mingyue Mountain feels like a world that exists only in mythological tales. Mount Emei, China's most sacred Buddhist mountain. Mount Emei is one of the most renowned Buddhist mountains in China, with a pilgrimage history spanning more than 2,000 years. Scattered across its mountainsides are dozens of temples and monasteries, appearing and disappearing among forests and seas of clouds. To reach the highest summit, many visitors must climb nearly 60,000 stone steps, winding through rugged mountain terrain. The reward at the end of the journey is the Golden Summit, the mountain's most famous landmark rising above the clouds at an elevation of more than 10,000 feet. On clear days, a vast sea of clouds stretches beneath the peaks, making the entire mountain appear to float in the sky. But Mount Emei is known for more than its scenery and spiritual significance. It is also home to wild monkey troops that roam freely throughout the mountain forests. They can often be seen along the trails watching visitors and sometimes boldly snatching food right in front of them. Among the cliffs and ancient woodlands, numerous mountain birds and other wildlife continue to thrive within a well-preserved ecosystem. Amid seas of clouds, ancient temples, and the sound of bells echoing through the mountains, Mount Emei stands as a place where nature and faith have been intertwined for centuries. Guoliang Tunnel, the road carved through a cliff. Hidden deep within the Taiping Mountains, Guoliang Tunnel is one of the most unusual and dangerous roads in the world. Before the tunnel was built, the village of Guoliang was almost completely isolated by towering cliffs rising hundreds of feet above the surrounding landscape. In 1972, 13 local villagers made the bold decision to carve a road directly through the mountain using hammers, chisels, and simple explosives. They worked continuously for 5 years amid rugged terrain and extremely hazardous conditions. The result was a tunnel carved through a nearly vertical cliff face. Along the tunnel are large window openings cut directly into the rock to provide natural light. But beyond those openings, sheer cliffs and deep drop-offs plunge into the valley below. Every turn creates the feeling of traveling between solid stone and open air. Today, thousands of visitors come each year to witness a structure built almost entirely by human determination and effort. Guoliang Tunnel is more than just a road. It is a symbol of human perseverance in the face of one of China's most unforgiving landscapes. Laojun Mountain, the golden palaces above the clouds. Laojun Mountain is one of the most sacred Taoist mountains in China. Perched atop high peaks above a vast sea of clouds, its golden palace complex appears like an ancient city floating in the sky. The gold-covered temple roofs reflect the sunlight, standing out against rugged mountains, white clouds, and the forests stretching far below. According to Taoist tradition, the mountain is closely associated with Laozi, the legendary founder of Taoist thought. To reach the temples on the summit, visitors must navigate winding mountain paths and steep stairways carved into the mountainside. The weather here changes rapidly. Sunshine, wind clouds, and dense fog can all appear within a matter of hours. During winter, the entire mountain is often covered in snow ice and thick layers of cloud. Along the cliffs and throughout the surrounding forests, eagles, birds of prey, and numerous alpine animals continue to thrive in an environment that remains largely untouched. For centuries, pilgrims have journeyed here to pray amid the grandeur of nature and the tranquility of the mountains. Surrounded by golden palaces, seas of clouds, and endless mountain peaks, Laojun Mountain feels like a celestial realm brought to life from an ancient Taoist legend.